So we got Brian Asamoah, former Oklahoma linebacker, with us here in a second, now current Minnesota Viking. But I did, before this, this is my friend Mike Gill. We met 5 years ago. No, longer than that. Yeah, 5 years ago. Miami. We met 5 years ago in Miami. Our tables were next to each other. And Q discovered that we might look a little bit alike.
Yes.
I don't see it. I see it. It is so. There are times where somebody waved at me today, and I was like, I'd never met them before, and then it occurred to me, like, they must know Mike. They just waved at me, so I wanted our listeners to see. Yeah, here's the
Mike.
Yeah, here's the original picture.
And you guys are both wearing red?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are twins, man.
Yeah, absolutely. That was about 70 pounds ago. But, like, you know.
I tried to hold the same. I don't know about him.
Yeah, I know.
You're hilarious.
I rediscovered sandwiches during COVID. It was it was
Your
glorious.
favorite? What's your favorite sandwich?
What's your favorite kid? I don't know. Like that's asking. Yeah. You get bored and you start doing I have a meatball.
Start doing stuff.
You start doing stuff and you're like,
you're funny.
I'm gonna make a meatball sub. I haven't had
funny,
one in a while.
Man, you're funny, man. I like a meatball sub, man.
So, yeah, exactly.
That's a good one.
Brian, what's this year been like? You mean the ride of the Vikings? I know that you guys were riding high and then kind of got your wings clipped, but there's got to be some.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, but there's got to be a lot of positivity around the organization right now and what you guys are building and what Kevin O'Connell, who, I don't know anything about him, but I would have run through a brick wall for that guy.
For sure.
Yeah.
KO, man, shout out to him.
Mm-hmm.
A great leader of men.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, man, I'll run through a brick wall for him too because he's such a great coach.
Mm-hmm.
But the culture in Minnesota is definitely high-spirited. We know that we didn't play our best ball the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of crazy, too, that the two games that we lost were against the Lions and the Rams.
Yeah.
Two teams that we both lost on short weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't say the whole season rides on those two games. We did a lot of great things.
Mm-hmm.
Sam played phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Receivers played real good. Everybody played a role into why we won 14 games. I think the next part is taking the step of becoming a better version of ourselves than we were the week before. And I think at the end of the year, we kind of struggled a little bit to get over the hump, after tough loss to Detroit, and then the week after again. We just got to find a way to get past it quicker and be ready to make some plays the next week, man.
Well, you guys were one of the just the fun stories in the NFL this year, and you could feel that. I mean, my wife would kill me if I didn't ask you about the cell. She started. She wanted you guys to go so far because she loved the celebrations.
Oh my
she
gosh.
loved it. That almost seems to me as hard as like practicing, and it would be harder for me to learn a group dance, a celebration like that from a movie, even if it's from a movie or something. But all of that would be harder than rookie year learning all the calls and pretend. You got to learn a whole bunch of new terminology. It would be way easier for me to be like, okay, what is 92 cherry jackrabbit split?
You're hilarious, man.
That would be easier.
On defense, I think it's much easier than offense. I've heard the offensive play call ridiculous, but man, on defense, man, we play in a certain coverage, man. And that's it, man. So as long as we get everybody lined up, we can play super fast and then celebrate when we get a turnover. I think that's the main thing that people are forgetting, man, is that we have to earn the right to celebrate. And I think every week we earn that right. We averaged a takeaway each week. And that's something that we believed in. We knew that we're going to do it. The art of being able to practice something is because we all had the confidence that we were going to go out there and go get a turnover, and we couldn't wait to celebrate that turnover together with our teammates, man. So shout out to Cam Bynum for orchestrating this whole, dance recital thing and choreographing everybody, man. Shout out to him and Josh.
But I think sometimes that gets us ready to what that does just for some teams, they're good, but nobody's friends. Right? And I'm sure you've been part of teams like that.
No, I haven't, honestly.
Never?
At Minnesota, I was drafted in Minnesota, so the culture we have, man, we all love each other. But people don't know that there's nothing to do in Minnesota. So the ability to have the camaraderie that we have, like it takes a lot because we're with each other every day and we hang out with each other every day. You know, your best players are hanging out with everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a, you know, practice squad guy or, you know, 7th round draft pick or 1st round draft pick. Everybody's on the team is hanging out with each other. So that's a kudos to the culture that, you know, Kevin O'Connell has also instilled, that we're all literally friends with each other and we can hang out with one another at any moment. So
it's more rare than people would think. I mean,
100%.
because you can see good teams, but then like their whole thing is we're good because I know that all these people are good and I trust them on the field. Yeah. But when the day is over, when it is, like, I don't care. Like, I think and those teams usually are good for a minute.
Yes.
The teams that are good for a long time, like you can tell the Chiefs and the Eagles really like being around each other.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you guys like being around each other.
We're on the cusp, man.
Yeah,
on the cusp.
That's why you are, though.
Yes.
It's not just because you got a lot of good players.
Yeah.
You have Justin Jefferson. He's a unique talent, but
phenomenal.
What's okay?
One of a kind.
Okay, you have to, and luckily you're a linebacker, so you don't have to deal with him that much in practice. But you have to deal with him a little bit.
No, he's a dog.
Do you ever why? Like, how did this happen?
I've seen some crazy stuff happen on the practice field and on game day, and it's just really like, man, you are blessed. Like, you work hard, but God has blessed you with a very unique talent that you get to display every Sunday, and I love watching it. As long as the Minnesota fans as well, like, watching him go out there on Sunday and go out there and make some plays, man, is great for the organization.
You got a great fan base, too.
Oh,
people that love you. Yeah.
The Skull, man. Listen, I don't know what our record was at home. I think we lost one game. Mm-hmm. But the bank gets loud.
Yeah.
The bank gets loud.
Yeah. I was in there for the Super Bowl when they had it there.
The bank
gets
loud.
It was when Philly won. And,
Are you a Philly fan?
No, God, I'm from Dallas. I'm a Cowboys fan.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm a suffering Cowboys fan. Yeah.
But no, man.
Here's the thing. Here's how I enjoy the NFL now.
Yes.
I watch players that I like. I still want the Cowboys to win, obviously, but I know the score, you know. So I watch players I like, players that I know, teams I like. I really liked watching you guys this year because you guys were. To me, it's like watching a cool television show.
100%.
Like, so if you like a show, like, all right, well, the Vikings are a fun show.
Yes.
You know, this is a fun show to watch. The Chiefs, not so much of a fun show to watch because we're tired of it. It's been on
results every
it's been
3
on the
years
air,
now.
It's been in the air too long.
It's been in the air too long, man. It's good, but like, let's get it off the TV show now. Let's get something new.
Time for something new.
Let's get Squid Games out, man. We want to watch something new, man.
Exactly. So
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, it's just so really just enjoyed it, and then I just like seeing like cool coaches, cool players, a group that really works well together. Sam Darnold's a fantastic story. Like he's been through the ringer, you know, and you think being unsuccessful in New York as a quarterback's easy on you?
It's not easy at all.
No.
It is tough that you bring a young guy in to kind of like change that whole thing.
Here's what happens that people don't realize. They bring in a 22, 23-year-old guy.
Maybe 21 sometimes.
Maybe 21 years old.
Yes.
And a big rich billionaire says, you are going to fix this.
Yes.
And then he probably doesn't feel like he's in a place because he's making a lot of money. He's a big high draft pick to go like, okay, well, what are you going to do to help me fix it? Because I'm all about fixing it.
What's the solution?
What's the solution that we can work together as a team?
Together. You're saying it right, man.
Because football's a team sport.
It's a team sport.
And if that billionaire decides like, well, no, you're going to fix it. You're like, no. What else are we going to do?
You got to piece it all together, man. Yeah. It's like a big puzzle piece, man. And if you put the right pieces where they need to be, man, you can see success. And that's exactly what we did, man. We built and created a wonderful puzzle piece where we've got unique players at every position. And now we're just finding ways to work within each other and, you know, accomplish the ultimate goal, which is winning.
All right. You are a Boomer Sooner.
Oklahoma till I die.
Okay. You have now played in a great NFL venue.
Yes.
In one of the most – I remember the first time I went to a game in Norman. I was – and you always hear about it, and like it like sometimes it becomes legend.
Yes.
That's a place that knows how to put on a football game.
Yes.
Like it is – I mean, from tailgating to the experience to all of it. The only complaint I've ever had is they never give me parking that's very close. But –
I've always had parking problems at Oklahoma.
Well, it's hard. I mean, Norman's not big, right?
It's not.
So like when you bring in 100,000 people or more, and there's 20,000 people that don't even go in. They're just out there to tailgate.
The stadium can only fit like 85,000.
Yes, 85,000. You got 25,000 that are just there to drink and watch it on TV outside.
It's nothing like an Oklahoma football game in Norman because, like you said, man, the tailgaters, the people that support, the old fans that still come out just to watch the Sooners play. It's nothing like anything other because it's like love in the air just to watch one sport, and that's football. The only thing that's going on in Norman is football, so you can understand from there why they're coming.
Oh yeah, and we have Barry Switzer on the show all the time.
I love Barry.
Oh, is he
great guy?
Is there no more fun dude in the world than Barry Switzer?
Barry is one of the coolest guys ever.
Yeah, he's very cool. So what was you had told Mike that you almost went to West Virginia. You thought about going there.
Thought about it.
What was it about Oklahoma that made you go?
First of all, I would say it was my position coach, Tim Kish. And it's kind of crazy because once I got there, he got fired. So, unfortunately, but I only came to Oklahoma because of Tim Kish. He recruited me out of Columbus, Ohio. He was an Ohio guy. He went to Youngstown. And then we had the Stoops brothers who were all from Youngstown. So I felt a connection. I felt at home with the coaching staff. And that's why I try to tell these kids nowadays, like, don't fall in love with the coaching staff. Go to a university where you could go to school for the next 4 years if football didn't work out. Luckily for me, I was blessed enough to go to Oklahoma, a place that I enjoyed, a place that I would still go to school at if I didn't, play football. But also the coaches were amazing, you know what I'm saying? Despite, us playing not to our best on defense the first year and then, obviously everything having to happen, I still enjoyed every bit and piece and part of it because of the community. Like, I loved the community in Norman. I loved the people. I loved being able to go out there and wear the crimson and cream. Like, it was nothing like being a football player in Norman, and I will never forget that. But now, like, it's even much more fun because the competition is up now. Like, playing the SEC, you got to play football for 12 weeks to the best of your ability. So I love Norman. Was it Bob Stoops that recruited you initially, or was it Lincoln Riley? So don't get me started on Lincoln, but Bob was initial recruiter, and then obviously, Lincoln Riley got hired, so then Lincoln came to my house later in the recruiting process. I want you to talk about your charity work real quick before I get you go, but I have a Bob Stoops impression. I want you to grade it for me. So a couple years ago, this is Bob Stoops after Baylor beat you guys when RG3 was there. I was in the press conference. And somebody asked him, like, Coach, what was going on in the fourth quarter? He's like, what's going on? We're getting beat. That's why. Yeah, it's simple.
That's why. We're getting beat. All right.
He's trying to sound like
yeah. How is it? I did it for Drake. Stoops.
You did it good. You did
good deal. Good deal.
You did it good.
You do a ton of charitable work.
Yes.
Tell me about your foundation.
First of all, I would say just all glory to God because, you got to be a servant leader. And that's something that God has instilled in me to become. But a little bit more about my charitable work. I have a foundation in Accra, Ghana, my hometown where my parents are from. So I have a flag football team where I created a league where these flag football teams can go out there and compete. It's 10 teams, all 14-year-olds, and I'm giving the kids the opportunity to change, their dynamic. Once back in the day, sports and just having the dream to play in the National Football League wasn't attainable. But I want to give these kids a goal and a platform where they can achieve these dreams. I want to change the landscape of sports, period, in football in Accra, Ghana. So I know how football has given me the opportunity to change my family's life. I want to do the same thing for them, and that's what I've been able to do. So in doing so, I was also given the task to spearhead the Ghana national flag football team to compete in LA 2028. So next, they're going to be competing in Egypt this year in the Africa Championships against Nigeria, South Africa, and I believe we're going to come on top because I think that our guys are hungry, ready to make a big statement that sports in Africa, period, is transcending in the right direction, and the goal is again to cultivate a space where kids can really achieve their dream, and I believe that I want to give those kids that opportunity.
That's an awesome thing. I think flag football could really take off.
Flag football
there.
is going to take off.
It's a really easy sport to pick up and play wherever you are.
Yes.
Brian Asamoah, I'm so happy to Asamoah. I'm sorry.
You good?
Asamoah.
You good?
Asamoah. My apologies. Brian Asamoah, right here, 365 Sports. So happy to meet you.
Man, thank you guys for having me. I had a hell of a time on the show.